is an area that is very close to Van Nuys Airport. Just made that run right across Nordhoff back onto the northbound 405 freeway. Stolen vehicle. One person inside there, one driver. How many drivers could you have? Using that emergency lane again to get away. Now, what's going on? LAPD was in pursuit, full-blown lights and sirens right behind this guy. Think they went into a tracking mode. You can see that light flickering on and off above it. That's going to be the LAPD helicopter. We had some pretty cool shots of that helicopter earlier on. Maybe they'll make the news. Right now, though, one guy in that car, the driver, you know, sometimes when we hear there's a bunch of people in there, you know there's got to be a conversation. Like, hey, man, I don't want to die. What are you doing? Things like that. In this one, it's just that guy and his thoughts. Right now, he's probably not listening to his inner voice because, believe me, it should be telling him, let's slow down, let's stop, let's bring this to an end. This car continues on right now. I've been staying up high like that, or the wide shot, because I was hoping to get some shots of some LAPD behind it. They are concerned about his driving ability. They're concerned about the public and possibly any kind of injury to anybody involved. Looks like we're going to be making a transition onto the 118 freeway, heading back to the general area where he started earlier on. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Drunk driver. If I said stolen vehicle, I am extremely sorry. DUI is what I know it to be. I understand that this is a drunk driver, impaired driver. Copy all. That was my fabulous desk listening to us on the web. That might be a first, but hey, if they're listening, thank you guys. Apparently, I might have said stolen vehicle. If I did, I am extremely sorry. I know I heard it earlier on. This is an impaired driver. They're saying DUI, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is drunk. It could be in some kind of impairment, and that's one of the big concerns. That's one of the reasons why LAPD has kind of been a little standoffish. They're in that tracking mode. Another crazy move right there. Where are we right now? If you're just joining us, we're on the 118 freeway, eastbound, just approaching the 5. There he goes. There goes his chance for the 5. There is an off-ramp over here for Laurel Canyon. This is roughly the area where this pursuit started out. We're going to be entering the Pacoima area right now. This car wanted for DUI, or some sort of impaired driving. Earlier on, those front brakes were glowing red. Right now, I'm kind of guessing that those brakes may have cooled down a little bit. That is great news for anybody that may be in front of this car, because it's probably going to have its braking ability once again. You can see him riding those brakes again. It looks like we were going to be taking an exit, not taking an exit. So that was San Fernando Road, continuing eastbound on the 118. If he stays here, you know, if you know the area, it's going to be the 210. If he doesn't, he has one more option, I believe, to get off, and that'll take him into the Pacoima area. Tracking mode, that's what LAPD is doing right now, but that doesn't mean they're not here or they don't know that this is going on. Helicopter overhead, light is on. This guy knows he's being followed, but if he looks out the mirrors or looks out, here we go, that's the other option he had. And again, with this crazy driving, taking ridiculous risks, passing other vehicles as he's making a sharp turn to get off the road here. Whoop, 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 oh, that was good. And he recovered that, getting back onto Laurel Canyon, I believe this is going to be. Eastbound on Paxton, my bad, eastbound on Paxton. Continuing on from the Glen Oaks area, hard on the brakes again. A lot of traffic out here. Bicyclists. Oh gosh, I hate seeing stuff like that. Any kind of pedestrians that get in the way of these vehicles. And you know, cars are just as bad, but when it's somebody or a dog or a pet, it just makes me wince. Right now, though. Anyways, looking out the window, I think we're going to be on Sylmar. No, we're not on Sylmar. I'm going to get you a street here in just a minute. We're in the Pacoima area, that's for sure. Making our way northbound. Still red at Van Nuys. Still red. People out on the streets. There we go. Made a right turn on the Van Nuys, so it's going to be basically southbound. Southbound Van Nuys, making another turn right there. This may be the neighborhood that he comes from, so I'm kind of thinking that we might be getting ready for a foot bail. This car continuing on right now, back on the brakes again. He's been riding those brakes. We saw those glowing red earlier on. That is my hugest concern right now, is that this car is not going to be able to stop. Approaching Pierce right now, making another southbound turn on Pierce, driving south right now. They're saying westbound. Okay, westbound on Pierce. Sorry about that. Residential neighborhood, passing on the wrong side of the road, picking up speed again. LAPD is definitely overhead. Even the helicopter commenting on the high speed out here on Pierce. This is a residential neighborhood. Very, very small streets. We're working our way back towards the 5 freeway. No on-ramp out here for the 5 freeway, but he's got to cross some, blew that stop sign. Got to cross some major streets coming up. You got San Fernando Boulevard coming up. A lot of cars out here this evening. A lot of vehicles just out in general tonight. Hard turn, little weaving in and out. That goes San Fernando, continuing westbound on westbound on Pierce, just passing San Fernando. This stays very residential. There comes the Laurel Canyon. That's the road I was talking about earlier. Laurel Canyon is coming up. That's going to be the next major if he makes it out there. Passing on the wrong side of the road. Take a look at those brakes. Look at that. Glowing red. It just amazes me that this car is continuing to drive on. That's not from the damage, by the way. The passenger side is also glowing just the same. And they're talking right now, coming up on Terabella, fresh red, starting to make that turn. There we go. Luckily, no other cars in that area. Westbound on Terabella. LAPD making some very crucial decisions right now. Are they watching? I don't know. But they are seeing what we're seeing, or they're hearing at least what we are seeing out here. I know they're passing this information. Blew another red light. These are the things. Do they follow right behind him? Do they use their lights and sirens? Or is it going to intimidate this person even more? Coming up on Laurel, you can see those brake lights are on. That car really not slowing down. Continuing westbound now, passing Laurel Canyon. This is a road that will take you under the freeway. There it is. So this is going to be continuing back onto the valley. Made another into the valley, actually, out of the Pacoima area, San Fernando area, into more of the valley area. Right now, it is continuing on. Luckily, the speeds have slowed down a little bit more. Our lead of the next major, starting to make some crazy turns out there. Oncoming traffic, starting to make some wider turns out there. Going to keep an eye on this. Pursuit continues out here. LAPD is in tracking mode. Drunk driver, impaired driver, not really sure which one. But right now, this chase continues. LAPD in the air. Their nights on this guy. Officers in the area are on standby. If this turns into a pursuit again, there will be other black and whites getting behind it. And also, if this does come to a stop, officers from LAPD are in the area and will be able to approach the scene very quickly to take this guy into custody. Hopefully, it will not be any kind of accident. Right now, went through another red light. Pretty much this guy has been running his luck. Every single light he's been coming to has been red. Making some crazy weaving turns right there. Get back into that center lane. If anybody's making a left turn, it would be devastating right now. Winding down, running another stop sign, making another hard turn right there. I think this is going to be over by... That's going to be off. He's crossing right there. Whitfield is a smaller street that he's on right now. Whitfield, car's still going. Nobody behind him, though. You got to kind of understand that. Yeah, the lights on. He's got to know that officers are nearby. But continuing on, Wakefield, this car moving very, very quickly. Look at those brakes, glowing red this evening. Single person inside the vehicle. That's as we understand it. When I say single, I'm not talking about his marital status. I'm talking about he's the only guy in that car. Sometimes, we understand there's a group of people in there. You've got to think there's got to be a conversation going on. Somebody's got to be saying, hey, man, what are you doing? Let's bring this to a stop. Tonight, we understand it's him by himself. And also, saying him just as a blanket statement. We've seen so many of these in the past where they've been female drivers recently. Running those red lights, running those brakes, going through another red light there. Southbound Van Nuys, you saw another car there making that stop. You can see the officers are behind him now, staying a little bit wide there, making a turn on Parthenia. We're over by the old which mall was that? What was it? The Northridge Mall. That's going to be the old Parthenia. No, it's not the Parthenia Mall. What street was that? Anyway, there's an older mall over here. Right now, it's continuing on. There's the LAPD helicopter. That's the guy that's bringing us the lights. Right now, though, this pursuit continues on. If you're watching us on the web, thank you for joining us. Love the support. I can't take a look at the comments tonight because this has really got my hands full right now, and I'm so concerned about this person's driving. It's continuing on now. He's basically making another big loop through the valley out here, staying on Van Nuys Boulevard, I believe is the street that he's still on. Worked his way out of the Pacoima area, working our way back into the Van Nuys area. That's going to be Columbus right there. And we're continuing on. We're going to be coming up on Sepulveda, another major street out here. This is Parthenia. I live out here. I know this stuff. So there we go. It was Parthenia. We're back northbound on Sepulveda. Sepulveda in this area, a very wide street. Sometimes that can be really good. Sometimes that can be really bad. If there's a pedestrian crossing all these 8 lanes, maybe more, it could be an issue. Right now, though, he's just weaving his way in and out through traffic, cutting some people off right there. Back over into this neighborhood, over here right by the freeway, by Langdon. He's been in this area quite a bit. I believe this is going to be borderline North Hills area. And you can see a lot of people out there this evening enjoying the evening air. LAPD, I don't know, are they back in pursuit? I haven't heard those words from the scanner yet. But I can tell you the officers are very, very close. Their lights and sirens are on. These streets right here, super tight. All of them are going to be... All of them are going to be apartment buildings, so it's very packed, very dense population in this area. Going through Parthenia right there, continuing on. I think we're on, yep, Langdon, I heard the words. This is an area that I know pretty well, grew up in this area. Going to be arriving over here, going to be over by the Galpin Motors area, and also Roscoe Boulevard. Whoa! And here we go again. That was Chase getting really, really close. I know there's some speed bumps coming up, and at these high speeds, you got to wonder what's going to happen with that car. Coming up on Roscoe, right by the Galpin Ford area, always packed, always busy in this area. Just blended right back in. I heard it. They're in tracking mode. They are officially in tracking mode. We're back on to Roscoe, going back under the 405. He's going to stop over at Tommy's maybe, grab a burger, or maybe he's going to get on the 405. He's in that middle lane, so he's got an opportunity. Whoa, 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 doing some S-turns right there. Don't know where he's going to pop out, but you guys see that big rig right there going straight through. Going to be right by the Budweiser factory. Tommy's is going to be showing up there. This is a tour of the valley, tour of classic Van Nuys. Coming up on an ability to make a turn. Oh, I know this street pretty well, too. And back on to Haskell. This pursuit continuing on out here this evening. We know he's made contact with one vehicle earlier on. Got some damage on that car. This car continues to run from officers right now. They're in a tracking mode type of situation. The black and whites with the lights and sirens are close by. Are they right behind him? No, they're not. LAPD. Hey. I got to do some, if you're watching on the internet, I got to do some work. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. All right. Lena and Jeff. Wall to wall. Copy all. Well, if you're watching on the web now, you got an go ahead. Van Nuys, yes. North Hills. North Hills. We're on Orion. I can't see it. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right, copy. All right, if you're watching on the web, we're going to be going live. KCAL, that's Channel 9. If you're local, watch it. Watch it. You got Lena and Jeff, solid people. Know them personally. They are great. They're going to be the anchors this evening. We're going to be going live here in just a few minutes for the 9 o'clock. You can watch the pursuit there. You can watch it here. It's all good. My voice is getting a little hoarse. I'm going to give it a little rest, grab some water before the show starts. Westbound on Nordhoff is where we are. First time we saw him actually blocked in. This is amazing. When I drive out here, I'm always blocked in. Back on the 405. There you go, Marcos. You got your dream. You got your dream. Tell him to stay still. You know, when you don't know what to do what you know. Or my wife says, do nothing. All right, so we're back on the 405, just giving you guys on the web some kind of narration. We're waiting for the show to start. I'm a little worried, if you're kind of wondering behind the scenes. I got my headphones on, obviously. I can't see the show, but I can hear it. And I was told that they're going to start at 9 o'clock. Standing by for KCAL. Those are the magic words I was waiting for. We're going to be on KCAL here in just a moment, but we'll also have the audio on the web. Well, Van Nuys, let's just say almost all of the small cities in the valley. Right now, we're on the 405s. Looks like we're going to be transitioning back onto the 118. Let's do some highlight reels. This is a impaired driver. They still use the word DUI, drunk driving, but they're saying impaired. Earlier on, when it was a full-blown pursuit, meaning lights and sirens, black and whites behind them, it was up in the Pacoima area. This car actually made contact, serious contact, with another vehicle. You can see some of the damage there on the side of the car, but it kept on going. That's when officers from LAPD were saying, hey, you know what, maybe we should back off a little bit. The helicopter, always overhead, and when we say backed off, that doesn't mean they didn't just throw their hands up and walk away. They basically slowed up, they got a little bit farther behind, and they put less pressure on this driver. This is a tactic we see quite often in the LAPD's ability, or in their bag of tricks for pursuits. Where are we right now? We've transitioned westbound 118 freeway. We're in one of the missions, where Granada Hills mission, one of the hills. We're going to be in the Mission Hills area right now, and you can see this car's still moving. Granada Hills is going to be coming up. This is the first time we've seen them on the westbound 118, and this is what we've been seeing. So dangerous, using all lanes on the streets and on the freeways. LAPD in the air behind them, some cars on the streets in tracking mode, but this is a very dangerous pursuit, and it continues now on the westbound 118. You know, Jeff, it is amazing to see that if they have that highlight reel. The front brakes glowing, those disc brakes glowing red, and that heat is what is a huge problem. Right now, we don't see that brake light, that third eye coming on that often, giving a chance for those brakes to cool down. Why is that important? Why are we worried about that just watching? That's going to impair that vehicle's ability to stop. If he gets hard on those brakes because somebody's cutting him off, that car not going to perform like it should when it's in optimal, or when it's in the most working condition. Right now, though, we can't really see those rotors, but it has been, probably not from an emergency brake, probably not from damage, because all four of those rotors have been glowing. This guy just riding those brakes. He's probably got 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. Not a good driving technique ever, especially not if you're at high speeds and running from officers. So right now, though, you can see the car still moving. Those brakes are on, that third eye popping up. Westbound 118, we're going to be getting into the Porter Ranch area. Does seem like he's kind of playing some of these options. There we go. As soon as you say it, he's off that right shoulder. Here we go, taking an off-ramp. We're exiting Reseda Boulevard. First time we've seen him so far away from the general area where it started, out in the Pacoima area, Sylmar area, and the Van Nuys area. Now it looks like he's cutting people off. That's what he's been doing on these turns. Luckily, haven't seen him hit anybody. Another solid red. What is he doing? Getting right back onto the freeway. Right now, they're still in a tracking mode. We've been listening to it. It must be such a difficult decision for any of the sergeants or the people involved to say, should we be chasing this guy? Should we be warning the public with the lights and sirens? Or should we kind of back off and hope this guy slows down? We haven't seen him slow down. They've been in tracking mode for quite some time. Going to get a little bit wider. I'm always kind of worried. The freeway seems to be kind of wide open, but you can see the units from LAPD they are there, but they are so far behind. I guess probably quarter mile, eighth of a mile behind. The closest is going to be that helicopter right there. And he's got his lights on him. Going to be getting off the freeway again. Definitely going to be in the Porter Ranch area. We'll get you a street here in just a second. But we've seen this kind of moves before. Gets on the freeway, gets off the freeway. Solid red light. Making a southbound turn. Looks like he's on, I believe this is Porter Ranch, is the road in Porter Ranch. Cutting some people off. Back onto the 118 freeway. You know, I was playing with the Sky 9's camera, getting some of that camera magic, that TV magic, really trying to look inside there. Every now and then I see some movement. I'm wondering, they're saying just a single driver, but I'm kind of curious. Is it really just the driver? You know, swinging Sky 9 around there. I hope everybody's taking their Dramamine at home. And we're swinging it back around, and now we're going to be eastbound on the 118 freeway from the Porter Ranch area, basically going back the way we came. Now, LAPD units are on the ground. They are using their radios. They know the area he's in. But these high speeds, and possibly an impaired driver, just makes you worried about the public out there this evening. You know, Jeff, I'm sorry I haven't mentioned the speeds. I'm going to try to pull up some numbers for you right now. But I can tell you, Dodge product for sure. Can't confirm the Dart. I think it is. It might actually even be a Chrysler, but I've heard them say the words Dodge. So if it is a Dodge, like they've been saying, and rarely LAPD is wrong about this stuff, it's probably going to be a Dart. Four-door, subcompact, front-wheel drive. I don't know. What else can I say about it? I can tell you Sky 9 tracking right now, 106 miles an hour is what we're doing. Tracking, falling a little bit behind, so he's well above the 3 digits up there. So he is going well over freeway speeds. 118 this evening, I wouldn't say wide open, but light enough traffic. But it gives you an idea as he passes all these people. You know, people are driving out there this evening. You know, whenever I see this, I know everybody's got a mom and a dad, and I always think to myself, you know, my parents, elderly, they live in this area. If they're out there on the freeway tonight and this guy's barreling up behind them, I'd be panicked that they would panic and something could happen. And this is one of the reasons why these pursuits, we put them on the air. We're trying to warn some people. We're trying to give people heads up. LAPD, that's their job. So they're out here right now. They got that spotlight on them. There are officers nearby, lights and sirens, but it hasn't slowed this guy down. 118 freeway, back into the Mission Hills area. Going to be coming up on the 405 here shortly. But he has been in the Pacoima area. That's kind of the area where it started. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Extremely high speeds. We believe he's in there by himself. Impaired driver, driving extremely fast on these freeways tonight. Whoa! Whoa! No, Lena, he just jumped over that medium. I think he's going to be taking the 405 right there, but he definitely got some sparks. He jumped over that medium. 405 southbound, I believe what he's going to be taking. 405 south. I just got the confirmation. You know, very high speeds and very dangerous moves. And Lena, you got it exactly. This is what the officers have to deal with. There is a hierarchy. The officers that are in those cars, they have to answer to somebody, and that somebody they're answering to is making these decisions right now. Is it worth it? Is it, you know, are we putting more people in harm's way by following, getting right behind them, or is it better just to stay away? But with these high speeds, there we go, cutting people off again, coming up on the, I think it's going to be, no, it's going to be Roscoe first. Nordhoff is going to be the first one. So Nordhoff is going to be the first off-ramp here, southbound 405, getting back into the Van Nuys, North Hills area. But you know what? He's been staying on the freeways. Gives me a little bit of sigh of relief because he's been moving these crazy high speeds on these very tight roads out here. Van Nuys area earlier on, he loved that Langdon, and that street is filled with apartments, tiny two-lane area, so it's very populated. Thank goodness he's staying out here on the freeways. Best as you can say. Looking down right now, 102 miles an hour is what Sky 9 is doing. We're tracking along, so this car really moving out. LAPD, they got their hands full. People on the roads tonight, if you're getting heads up from your friends, do it safely. If you're gonna get, if you're trying to get a hold of somebody that may be on the freeway, do it safely. But we're talking right now. I heard the magic words. They are going to re-engage this pursuit. Somebody made a decision. We're going to start seeing LAPD right behind it very shortly. Boxton. We're right at Roscoe right now. He's going to be making an eastbound turn on Roscoe. This is over by Galpin Ford. This is a very tight area. Back onto the freeway right now. Back onto the southbound 405. You know, when they said that magic words, re-engage, you know, if those officers from LAPD are, let's say, quarter mile, eighth mile back, you know, this car's going 100-something miles an hour. So those officers, they're going to have to catch up. So they're getting closer. Northbound 405, that's the turn we just saw, going to be heading basically back the direction we've been headed. Don't know what this guy's plan is. I mean, gosh, who knows what these guys have, if they even have a plan. Obviously, he's driving very fast. He thinks he's going to maybe get away. Most likely he won't. Right now, 405 looks like he's starting to favor that right lane, so it looks like we're going to be getting back off the freeway. Think this is going to be Nordhoff. I'll get that confirmation in a minute. We'll see what it looks like for traffic as he gets to the end of the ramp, but he's definitely starting to pass people. Nordhoff is the street, and back onto the streets onto Nordhoff, and back onto Langdon. Yep. Yep. Right there, Lena. They're right there. There's two of them right there. He was on Chase right there. Now he's back onto Parthenia. Another street has a lot of apartments on it out here. North Hills area. Sepulveda, another major street. You know what? We thought, whoa, solid. That was through Plummer right there. Was a red light. There were cars right on both sides of him right there. We watch these pursuits, and sometimes we're just like, experienced driver. I wouldn't give this guy an ounce of credit. I would say that this guy is lucky at best. LAPD helicopter right above it, right there, bringing us the light this evening on Parthenia. Looks like I would surprised we haven't seen Sepulveda yet, but we went through Sepulveda. Sorry, my bad. So we're working our way back into the Pacoima area. But these speeds on these roads, extremely dangerous. Parthenia is the street right now, but he's using center lanes. He's passing Van Nuys. He's going to be coming up onto Van Nuys Boulevard. You know that's a big one out here. And we're going to see what he does as he's getting up to that street. Plummer, Van Nuys, he made that turn right there. Kind of slowing down now. Not seeing those high glow, that red glow from those brakes. But he's definitely pushing that car more than it's worth. And definitely when he does that, he's taking other people's lives and also injuries into his own hands. Oh, it looks like Panorama City. It's an alley. It's in an alley, and sometimes when we see this, we know it's going to be getting close to the end. Either that, yep, he's going to bail. He's going to bail. Two people in that car. Two people in the car. We're going to move Sky 9 around right now, Troy. You got to see where he's running. We're going to stay a little bit wider. But he's definitely in the apartments. LAPD running after him right there. We're going to get the helicopter around quick as we can. We can see them running right there. LAPD making the move down this alleyway. Going to see. He's on the other side of the building. That's what he's saying. Other side of the building already. Back in the carport area. There we go. We got some LAPD up. There. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to hear exactly where they are. But these definitely between the building. Definitely between the buildings. We're hearing them definitely making contact with that suspect. So it may be coming to an end. But definitely officers running here. Both. No, they haven't. They're waiting for backup. But I got to tell you, those two people, that might be one of the persons from the car and somebody else that he may have known. Very, very, very confusing out here. The officers are also, I hear that they're still thinking there might be one person outstanding. That definitely one person still outstanding right now. One of those two people is a suspect from the vehicle. The other one may be somebody they ran to or was in that area. They're taking those guys into custody right there. The light-colored T-shirt, that's what I'm hearing him talk about. That was the driver. We saw him earlier on. They're still looking for that guy. Now, it's like you said, this is going to be the Panorama City, where this thing came to an end out here. LAPD, they've got this area surrounded. And you know what? A little hindsight right here. You got to give the officer give the officer some credit. You know, they re-engaged it right at the right time. I'm just getting information right now from my pilot, from the LAPD helicopter. One of these suspects has a weapon, has a gun. Just checking some information, seeing if we missed something. I don't think we did. Pursuit comes to an end. Two people inside that vehicle. One apparently has a weapon. You know, LAPD making that call when they did. Don't know what magic ball that guy has. But believe me, if it's on sale, I got to get me one, because he knew exactly when to re-engage his pursuit and when it came to, you know, just at the time when it pretty much came to an end. This was going on for almost an hour. This guy did make contact at least with one other vehicle, damaging his car, or that car, don't know if it's his. When it came to an end at an alleyway out here, 94 block of Van Nuys Boulevard, would say we are in the Panorama City area. That car came to a stop. Two guys jumped out. Now, they have the passenger in custody, which is always good, but the driver is what they always really want. Now, they are searching for a guy with a white T-shirt. Sadly, luck of the draw, you know, Sky 9, we just weren't in that right spot. Nobody's fault ever. I can say it's my karma, because it seems to me whenever these things come to an end, it's rare that we're in the right spot at the right time. But at any rate, did come to an end out here at the alleyway. We saw those guys jump out. We saw them going into custody later on. Officers from Foothill Division, LAPD Foothill Division, you know, they've been on this thing for about an hour this evening. That car right there finally came to a stop. Two suspects in custody. Now, one of those suspects came from the car. I believe the other suspect may have been waiting over here, or the guy just happened to run up by him. Who knows? They're going to sort that stuff out. Somebody had a gun. That's not good. But LAPD, no injuries, or no serious injuries tonight. Cars come to a stop. The Panorama City area. And, of course, I can tell you, tense moments for any of the pedestrians out there. We saw some pedestrians running earlier on. Got somebody out there social mediaing, you know, doing what they can, you know. Good on you. But that chase, you know, one or two really scary moments Amazing how that car held up. Not making it a Dodge commercial at all, even though I do own a Dodge, love the Dodge. But, those brakes glowing red earlier on, and but that car just kept going and going and going. Luckily, the brakes worked when they were needed. Nobody was hurt. That guy, the driver, never want to give those guys credit. Lucky. That guy is one of the luckiest guys we've seen in a long time. Almost every light was red. Never hit anybody except for one person earlier on that we didn't witness. But anyway, pursuit came to an end. Van Nuys, 9400 block, Van Nuys Boulevard, and one from the car in custody. Somebody else that he may have been talking to in custody. Driver still outstanding.